while you're striving and walking and going to where you want to go, also like take time to enjoy the like smell the roses. Is it?
Got a lot of wisdom quotes after
Yeah,
this.
wisdom quotes.
Wow, not bad. Quite wise people here.
Yeah. Is it Pinterest supplying me all the quotes?
Smell the roses. That's the quote.
Smell the flowers, smell the roses, and just enjoy the things
correct.
around you as you progress.
Beauty is all around you.
Be in the moment,
Yeah,
correct.
I mean, if you don't take hold of the present, this present of the present won't come again,
That's why it's called the present.
Oh, wow. Okay,
I think enough. I think
too much.
I think
Next topic.
Hi everyone, welcome to Out of the Well. My name is Kee, and today we have a new guest. Her name is Shuk Yee. And fun fact is that she's actually my secondary school friend, a long lost friend that I haven't contacted for like a long time.
Oh, yes.
And then today I just asked her to come down for this podcast. Okay, I'll just move the introduction now to her. Hey, can you introduce yourself to everyone?
So my name is Shuk Yee. I'm actually a year 3 physiotherapy student. So yes, we actually were all church friends.
Yep.
Yeah. And so I think we never talked for a very long time early, like
Yes.
we caught up over
We were actually in the same school as well, but in uni.
Yeah, same school, but I never see him before.
I was
and
gonna
you
say
also
before,
see
she never
me
goes
before.
school one.
So he randomly texted me one day asking me like he wanted to feature some of the story and asked whether I wanted to be featured. Yeah, because I
So
think
random, like what am I doing, man?
very random, right? Yeah. Then after that, I think about it.
She looks like someone with a story though.
Really?
Wow.
You do?
Can tell by the face, right?
Yeah, that about the face maybe.
Actually, yeah, but it's true like I feel like in my life I really did make a lot of mistakes before. So when I thought about stories that I could share, I realized like, actually I do have stories. So
Many
I guess,
stories.
Yeah, you can.
Interesting stories,
wait and
juicy
hear.
stories. Okay, I think first and foremost, we would like to talk a little bit about Shuk Yee's journey in finances.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I think I'll be the last person. I'll think that I'll be the last person to talk about finance because I used to be so bad at finance. Like, I used to be the one always telling my friends that I have no money, so I can't go and eat with them, or like telling them that my family has no money. So actually, I don't come from a lot of money, and people know that I'm very bad at finance. Like, people know I'm that kind that will go and like shop and then I'll squander like that week's allowance, or like my phone bill is like $500. So
Wow,
actually it's been a journey.
Whoa,
of
what do you do with your phone though? Yeah, stop there.
How do you get to 500?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think last time I had a Singtel subscription, and I don't think like the plan was that good because the data was
don't
probably
get
very
Singtel.
low. Yeah, and then last time I like to use data a lot. I like to Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, so all these kind of things, a lot of like data, right? So I don't know how to control myself. So every month I exceed my data, then it will come back $500.
But 500 is a
Wow.
lot though. 500 is my money
Expenditure.
Oh
With
my
everything, transport, food, and
Anyway, that's not the worst. I think my worst phone bills was $1,000.
whoa,
Oh my god.
Yes.
1,000.
I think twice I did that. Once was because I think my friend played Maple, and so she bought stuff using my phone. So
Okay, but they're not your fault, so it's okay.
okay, and
Yeah.
then I think the other one is the same like me just overusing
If
my
you're the one
data.
playing Maple.
I don't play Maple. I
You
don't
bought stuff with your own phone.
yeah.
Oh my god.
So you see actually I make very bad financial decisions because I just don't know what is normal. Like if my friends didn't tell me that 500 was not normal, I thought 500 phone bills was normal, Yeah.
True, yeah, correct. It's hard. I mean, before that you mentioned that you spent like 10,000 in 5 months. Can you like sort of like go through
Share the
process
backstory.
with us?
Yeah. Okay, so because this episode we wanted to talk a little bit about personal stuff, like maybe worst financial mistakes we made and stuff.
Right.
So I'm just like, oh yeah, I need to own up because I think the worst financial mistake I made in my life was I think in 2016. So 2016 was a very interesting year because it was the lowest point of my life, and because I'm in such a low point of life, I think I also couldn't think carefully of how to manage my money.
Why were you in a low point like back then?
I think I was pretty depressed because there were too many things happening around my life that were not what I expected. Like, I just went to poly then, and I thought I would do very well in poly, but turns out I didn't do as well as I thought. So that was pretty disappointing. Then I think I had a lot of friendship problems then as well, and a lot of like boy problem. Then I think I also struggled with body image that year because I used to be skinny in secondary school, but I don't know why in like poly I started gained a lot of weight, and all my friends were starting to tell me that, and I think that started eating on my self-esteem. So I had like a eating disorder, like a body image issue. So that was quite bad. 2016 was also the year that my dad passed away, and the first time I met my dad's side of the family. And 2016 was also the year that I had to learn to live alone because after my dad passed away and me and like our whole family like meeting my dad's side of the family, I think they decided to move back to Hong Kong. Then it was impermanent. So when they suddenly left and I suddenly had to stay alone, it was quite a big drastic change as well. So actually I feel like there was many things going on, and I think because I was immature, so it makes all the stress even harder to handle. So I think I really struggled a lot, and because of that I think my bad financial mistake also came from that
but to be
episode.
fair, you have a lot to stomach though, because like you also many things like your dad,
a lot of struggles,
your mom,
Yeah.
and after that like the sort of eating disorder, then your like your friends, your poly, self expectation, right? So it's like all together, I mean I would say
it was all at the same period, right?
Yeah, all at the same period, and it just felt like all the blocks were tumbling, and like I was just like, what is this my life? What is it supposed to be?
Correct. Like,
Okay.
like, nothing is right. You know, nothing is right when the more you walk, right?
Yes. But okay, so we jump back to the 10K and how I squatted in like 5 months, right? So when my parents and everyone moved to Hong Kong for a while, my uncle, who actually was the one who encouraged my family to go back to Hong Kong, decided to provide for all of us like financially. So because I was the only one in Singapore, so he also decided to give me allowance. So he gave me 10K supposedly for 10 months, right?
He should have given you like 1K
Yes.
for 1 month.
Yeah, you should have. Every 1 week give you some.
Yeah, not wise enough.
Yeah, so that should have been the case. But because really that's the first time I see so much money. Because last time on that camera,
YOLO swagging.
What do you buy? Like Prada, Gucci?
no lah, not Prada lah. But okay, so
I saw your bag is like Charles and Keith.
Charles & Keith is okay. It's
okay,
like
it's
80 plus
okay.
only.
Okay, fine.
See, I'm not so crazy anymore.
Mm.
But okay, so how I squandered that money away was first time see so much money, right? So I thought I was very rich, even though I
I
realized.
think you will reach lah before you spend them.
Yeah, before I spent. So what I did was I decided to take cab every day to school, and I think because I had depression, so I couldn't
Stop laughing
wake
at her
up.
lah.
Yeah, stop laughing at me.
People sharing her. It's supposed to be a sad music coming on and all that. You over there laughing.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah, I think I'll mute your mic.
Hey, her tone is like she's okay with it.
Because you over there laughing, how to not be okay? Yeah, kidding. Okay, go on. We can cue the sad music now.
I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
It feels. It was difficult.
Yeah, okay, so moving back, okay, so what I spent my money on was
Yes, that's the
cab.
one I want to know. Oh,
I think
cab.
I spent
Number one is
2K
cab.
on cab because I took
A
my
month.
cab every single day for 1.5 months. Yeah, and I
Wow.
think it was each
Every
cab ride
single-
was $30. So can you imagine?
Do you
turn-
Grab or
turn-
do you
Grab? I Grab
Grab?
that.
So you
and then
platinum member.
No, not platinum.
In
But
1
always
month.
during oh yeah, I think I
Ah,
confirmed
right.
earned the
The
platinum
points,
title
yeah,
already.
correct.
Wow, that one quite upset.
Okay.
Because it was during peak hours, so it's like $30, you know. Yeah, to and fro. And then I think I also signed up for a gym membership and a personal trainer. So that was another like 3K plus, you know.
Okay,
So
wow.
2K for a cab, 3 point something for the personal
Wow,
trainer.
wow.
I go, and then now because I go gym, I need workout clothes, I also need
You need the protein
nutrition.
shake, yeah.
Yeah, so I also spend
Wow.
money on online shopping. Diet pills I also got buy, you know.
Wow.
Buy diet pills lah, like some Garcinia Cambodia diet pill from GNC lah, from online lah. Then I also buy the Xendo, the diet what's that thing? Fat metabolism coffee
Wow.
and the
Okay.
juice. So that was quite a lot of
Does it
money.
work? That's all of that.
No, that's not okay. That's not
Disclaimer,
work.
none of them works.
Don't try to waste money. I really waste for you already. Okay, then after that, like I also went to shop a lot because like first time got so much money. Last time I only see like $100,
Few $100s. in the bank.
at max
Yep.
$50, $100. So
Actually, me, I also do the same, to be honest.
yeah, so I decided.
Poly period ma.
Yeah, that's right.
I decided I was rich and I decided to go shopping for new clothes, new gym clothes, new bag, new wallet. I felt so atas when I buy lah, but actually inside my wallet only got like $2, $5 only. So it's quite sad, you know. Yeah, and then what else did I spend on? Just eating out lor. Like I didn't like eat the hawker food. I went to ask my friend, hey, now
Jio,
got
go
money,
eat ah.
Jio, let's
Yeah, why
go eat. And then I was 18 years old, so I was like, actually that's quite a lot. You're spending quite a lot for 18-year-old. And so actually the 10K was supposed to last me quite a while, but because I keep squandering almost like 6 point something K, 7K on all these kind of frivolous things already, right? I had very little left for my $500 phone bill still then, and like my utility bills and transportation.
Yeah, you still have to pay for the house and all that.
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
exactly. So it left me with very little money, and towards the end of the few months that I was supposed to buy, I was eating instant noodle, like the 50-cent kind from value dollar shop, and then
it's
like
a drastic change. You know?
yeah,
Wow.
because like I realized I only have like 2K and I have like five more months to go. So I realized that wow, my meals, I needed to not go out as much as I could, and like I eat 50 cents cup noodle with a bit of frozen food for taste.
Wow.
And
How do you handle the drastic change though? From eating restaurants and all to cup noodles straight away?
it's more like bo pian,
Yeah,
like
more
you
like
have
you
no
don't have
money,
a choice.
right?
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
So it's like you want to eat also cannot, because because then I'm 18 years old, I still haven't do part-time job yet. So if
So
my
you didn't
uncle,
work the whole time?
yeah,
you
if
were
my
not-
uncle was not gonna top up, which actually I didn't dare to tell my uncle that I squandered so much already. That's why I just forced myself to eat that 50-cent cup noodles for quite a while, because it's better than telling that I squandered or asking for more money. So yeah, so actually it was quite hard lah, yeah, when I wasted so much.
I feel like also it's because of it's like a hidden trauma,
Yeah.
and that's why you would go and spend the money as well. Do you think so? It's like a retail therapy for you.
Oh yes, because
Do you feel that way?
Yes,
Because you
correct.
were having so much issues, yeah.
very good point, because shopping and buying new things and looking good made me feel better about myself than how I actually felt. It's so true, because last time when I was younger, I was very consumed by how people perceive me, and I don't really know healthy emotional regulation. So if I feel bad, I would just try to make myself feel better from the outside.
Right.
Shopping like you said.
Yeah.
I changed already.
换了. This is how many years ago?
2016.
Disclaimer 2016 Not
2016,
now now
yeah.
won't be here on the podcast already.
Yeah.
But I would say it's very brave for you to step out and
Yeah,
be so
for sure.
upfront and honest. You know, I think you are the first few people that I know that is like
Can be
really-
upfront, authentic,
yeah, like
and
really,
genuine straight
like
away.
really say that okay,
Yeah.
this is the past. Like you messed up, but I think these are circumstances. Right? So to be honest, I fairly believe that anyone given your situation would do the same.
Some people may even do worse.
May even do worse. So the things I really like
that's true.
congratulate you for like getting over this. Or okay. Do you have to see a therapist, or do you have to see like someone that like sort of got you out? Like who helped you, or do you help yourself?
Very good question. Even after 2016, like the bad financial scare. Actually, I have many financial scares in my whole life. Like where my mom was hardly tell me she lost her job, or like she always tell me like don't spend so much because we don't have a lot of money already. And I think like even though it felt very horrible every time I have to hear that, and I also have to go through my own 10K scare, it was only like when I started uni. So when was that? Can you do
3 years ago?
like 2-3 years ago, like
2018
19, I think, maybe 2019. It really woke me up. I tell you, you know what woke me up or not? My family fighting in public about money. I never thought we'd go to that extent. Like we fought behind closed doors about money a lot of times, but like there's this one time I was going to go to physio, so I needed a new laptop because my poly laptop spoiled already. So before I went to uni, I went to ask my mom like, do you have a few $100? Shall we share costs and get a new laptop for myself? And she actually told me that she didn't have money, and I was like very shocked because I was asking for a few hundreds, not even in the thousands, and she literally genuinely looked straight in my eyes and told me that she didn't have money. And then I started panicking because all my life, if I needed money, the only person I knew to go to was my mom, because she's the adult, So then when she told me she didn't have money, I think we were having family dinner then at like some Teochew porridge place. And then my sisters who were there as well heard my mom said that she has no money, and then it started a whole debate, like started asking each other, do you have money then, like that kind of thing. And then we all realized that we all did not have money.
Oh my god.
And it was so bad because we all thought as kids, if we all didn't have money, my mom would have money. So that realization,
don't have money now.
we all did not have money, and so it was so scary because it felt like we don't even know whether next month we can have enough
survive
or not. And like we're talking about like necessities. We're not even talking about next month health scare or whatever. It's like food. We don't even know we got money for next month for food. And I think it was very serious because after that conversation, after I went to school, situation did not get better. My mom told me she lost her job. I was like, you really did not have money, and now you are not going to have money. And so that was really a wake up call, because like I remember that time when we fought in public, they shouted so loudly that I was so embarrassed. I told them that if they're not going to stop shouting, I was going to go back home. And because they didn't stop shouting, I literally went back home with tears in my eyes. So I felt so embarrassed and so bad about my situation. Yeah. Then after that, so that was bad. That was really a really big motivator to change. And the next big motivator was my mom really lost her job, like a few months later. And then I realized like this did end. Like I really wanted this cycle to end where I always had to rely on someone else, and my financial situation is always linked to someone else's decision in life or like circumstance. So I told myself that this will be the last time, that I'm going to feel so bad and I'm going to sit myself through another poverty cycle. Another poverty cycle. So I told myself, then I think my mom gave me like cut down the allowance because I think she didn't have a job, right?
How much was the allowance back then?
Actually, my mom is pretty generous. Like if she had money, she did give me 800, so she's very generous. So, but when she lost her job, so she had to cut. So I think it was like 400, and I understood.
That was quite difficult.
Yeah, I understood. It's okay. So because she took a while to get a job, so actually I think I went through 2 months with just $400, and it was quite hard because I remember.
That would be hard. Yeah, 400 is hard.
Because I have to pay for my gym membership.
Correct.
Yeah, and then the remaining was the rest. And I think then it was hard because I didn't know when my mom was going to get a job and when I was going to get back a stable, allowance. So I told myself to really stretch the dollar. And I told myself, because I want to learn a lesson, I'm not going to ask for help. Because I think it's easy to when you don't have money, you go and ask your sisters, ask your friends for money. But I wanted to really feel the pain, so that I would really.
That's brave. Yeah.
Yeah, so that I would really do all I can in my power with whatever limited that I know or whatever I'll learn to know to set a different financial journey and future for myself. So I think that was when I learned what is important to spend on, what is necessity and what is not, and then to save the rest and to also be content with the little that I have, Yeah, I think that was the starting. So now I have savings, don't worry, I won't die, if suddenly my mother loses her job, this kind of thing.
Do you get a part-time job afterwards or?
Actually no, I didn't get a part-time job after that because school was so demanding and I think I was
How do you support yourself with 400? I know 400 is not enough.
I have a lot of ratchet meals in my database,
Actually it's like 500 or 400 it will be a stretch. Unless you cai fan every day.
No, I don't even cai fan because cai fan is so expensive. I instant noodle every day. Or you know what I did? If I didn't want to be so unhealthy, I'll just buy noodles, like plain noodles, and then after that I'll just put my soy sauce or pepper and maybe oyster sauce as seasoning. Then that'll be because that's actually very cheap. Right? You're not even buying instant, you're just buying noodles.
But it's not nutritional.
Yeah, that's true. It's really. Oh no, then I'll just buy vegetables. So of course, vegetables also not say very expensive.
Correct.
Yeah. So actually, and that was the time when I did fasting as well because I felt perfect man, no money, fast law, that kind of thing.
It's an excuse for
to make myself feel like it's not so sad. I just told myself I intentionally wanted to fast. So I wouldn't eat breakfast. I'll try to see whether I can eat my biggest meal during lunch, then maybe dinner I don't have to eat also. So
I think this shows the importance of savings as well. So I think one of the more important things I learned in army, because last time I was like you, in poly, and I think prior to that I anyhow spend money. I mean, you will see me as someone like that as well, in secondary school. But I think in army there were a few things that I kind of watched, and one of the YouTubers is Graham Stephan. So he's one of the best of the best. His content is lit. Okay, and then we have some books that I read like Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Oh yes, I read,
and then those are the external motivations. I think the real motivator inside was I didn't have any savings at the time. So to me it's like if anything happens to touch wood to whatever, then how am I going to support myself? You see what I mean? At army I still had some allowance. I was a sergeant, so we had 1k plus.
That's not bad.
Yeah, 1k plus of a pay Yeah. So that was what got me to thinking about you need a very powerful savings and quite an emergency account So do you also because of that then start to think about all this emergency amount, savings and all that?
Because I didn't know how to manage my money, zero clue. Because all my life we don't talk about money. I had to ask my friend how would you manage your money? Do you have a separate account? How many percent do I put into my savings? But at that moment, I just told myself, okay there's a lot of details. I just need to know I need to take whatever step that I could. So I don't know about 20% or whatever. I just knew that one step at a time. So for me, it was not caring too much about the accounts because slowly it will unfold itself the more you know.
Take the first
for
step.
me, I just need to know what to stop spending on.
What's a need, what's a want?
Yeah, what to stop spending on, and whatever that I have in excess because I stopped spending unnecessarily, that immediately goes to emergency savings because I know I have nothing. Just like Keith.
Correct.
Then after that, then people started tell me, you can open this account, that account to earn a bit of interest.
I think I gave you some advice as well.
You did. I think then I was already
quite
on my
long
journey.
ago.
I think my partner then did give me some advice, did guide me. Yeah. So I guess emergency fund is
Yeah,
really
very
important.
important.
First step.
Yeah, I think at the age where if you guys are in army or in uni, I think that's the time where you guys should start thinking about all these. Finances. I think it's quite important. I think taking the first step as well. Like we can plan a lot of things, we can think about a lot of things, but just take the first step to start saving. And it might sound little, but over time it actually is a habit. You're creating for yourself a habit, and that really helps you to save a lot more in the future.
Like I think you don't need to be a pro to take the first
Correct,
step. You know.
Mm.
Yeah, don't need to like know like how many percent
Yeah.
this and that. You just need to know what you need to do, what you know to do now. Are you doing that? Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. JJ, do you have any financial tips? Because you strike me off since the day one as someone that is
Yeah.
very frugal.
I mean, so okay lah. I mean, I really understand where she's coming from. It's just that I think her background is really drastic. You know, for mine, I'll be completely honest. So it's like I'm poor, but it's a bit confusing. Poor but still okay. You know, from the outside. So it's like my dad has a debt of like 100,000 bank debt. So now it's still rolling. So since young, it's been drilled into my head. You're poor, don't spend so much. You're poor, don't spend so much, right? So the thing is like, yeah, since young it's always I live in like I live for like those very very cheap meals. Everything is like about look at the money. You know,
Yeah.
cannot afford, then I don't want it already.
Correct.
So I think that changed your brain to like it's sort of like
It's lifestyle.
I have this saying which is like your circumstances actually shape your values. You know, so my value is like I always see like okay, cannot afford, then I don't want it already. Yeah, so it's like automatic thing. That's why it's like I think before Keith met me, I think I had quite a lot of savings. No, but that is like since young I save all the way. So it's like I really eat like very little, like all this sort of thing. Like there's no luxury item in my life. I think this was brought up so through my upbringing. I mean, can say good, can say bad, but then I think all this is like bo pian.
Yeah.
No choice, right? So you just live with it, right? So the thing is, yeah, so it's confusing because what people don't see is when I like ask my friend to come over to my house and say I live at a executive condo, so they think I'm very rich, but actually it's not. Because the thing is, when my mom actually bought that condo, then my dad tell us say, oh actually sorry guys,
Surprise! I got that.
A huge debt of 100,000. Just saying and just putting out there. Yeah. Then bye bye. Yeah. Okay. So it's like wait, why are you telling us now? We bought the condo, right? You guys tell us before that.
And maybe don't buy the condo.
Yeah. Okay. Now we have the mortgage for the condo. Then we have the debt. Right. And why we need to buy the condo? Actually, it wasn't a luxury item. It was a sort of a need because our old house was. So before that we live in HDB 455, which is a maisonette. So last time mentioned very very cheap, which is actually very worth it. But the thing is, my dad is a hoarder, so he would keep bringing like old newspaper and stuff. I don't know what's the mentality. Yeah, so you like old newspaper magazine etc. Then it got so bad to the point that the paper right would turn yellow and it would crumble. So I'm not sure if you heard when you see before when the newspaper crumble when you touch it like
Very
it
old,
just,
super old.
it's like crispy, you know.
Yeah.
It just break into like,
Brittle. Yeah.
pieces of powder, you know. So like, what the heck? And I have seen plastic bag like that also. So you know the plastic bag when you touch it is brittle also. Like you can pop a hole and there will be. Yeah, so it's like that old. So it's like what the heck? Then you have cockroaches going around.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Okay. I think enough info.
Yeah, correct. So when you now the old house is gone, I think it's so away. But then if you visit our house, I think it will be a whole new world for you guys. So that was the state where I lived in, you know. So the thing is, we have to change house because of him, and when we change house, we didn't really have like money, you know, like we need to pay off the mortgage, and it was also because of him. So yeah, but the thing is very very complicated because he's a nice person, so it's very hard for you to hate him. Like he's very caring, like ask you okay how's your school, then he will like pour for you water, make for you food, etc. So like how can you hate him when you just cause so much like damage to the family?
No, inner conflict.
Like what the heck? So how should I see you? Okay? So I don't. So to be fair, like since young I never see him as my dad. I see him as my friend. Because he wasn't a good wasn't a good example to follow. You know,
As a dad.
yeah, correct. Like so sloppy. What he say he don't do. You know, his words is like feather. You know, so the thing is like it just like how can I look up to you? So I always look up to my elder brother. So he was like my father. You know, he was like I'll say the tank of the family. You know? So the thing is like he really struggled through. But he hated my dad to the core because he got no one to follow. You know, like it's like a lost and dark world for him.
Yeah, I think when parents don't maybe do their job as well, I feel like it's
Correct.
the kids or like
Yes,
the older
correct.
kids,
Yes,
they
who
have to
suffer.
tank everything,
Yes,
you know.
correct. Yeah, that's
I think
why.
I respect my sister a lot also because
correct.
The
of
older
the
ones have it the worst.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
why.
respect you a lot, Flo.
Yeah, that's why I also respect my brother a lot. Yeah, so I got this saying which is by my friend, which also have like bad childhood, right? Yeah, it's also quite like touching. He said that not every parents deserve a child, but every child deserves a parent. Yeah, so it's like wow, shit, actually that's true. Like,
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I'll chew on that.
Yeah, to
correct.
chew on that.
Like basically like not every parent is good enough to deserve a child. But every child you
Once
deserve
born
a
already, they
child.
deserve
you
a
need,
child.
correct. You need good upbringing. You need a house to grow in. You know, proper like
Good examples to follow and all.
correct, that's why.
Yeah.
So it's like wow, actually.
It's a need, not a luxury.
Yeah, that's why. So it wasn't
Yeah.
easy, That's why I like since young it's always drilled in my head like poor. So it's like I always stick to. So basically, I have my own echo chamber, and I never hang around with the rich kid. I always hang around with the poor kids. You know, I always look for who is the one who is like struggling same as me, and then I make friends with the person. And to be honest, it's very hard for me to communicate with like people who are rich also because like
The mindset
they
is
talk
different.
About, they talk about like the egg is it like a half boil like onsen or this sort of thing like.
Got egg can already?
Like to me it's like I can't even 加蛋, you know.
Yeah.
One sort of thing. So their problem is like like
It's a new world of problems.
yeah, it's a new problem. Like, it's like I was thinking, how is that a problem? It's like what the heck? Yeah. So it's like I never really resonate well with them also. Yeah, correct. And then like since poly days also, my shoes are all fake also. You know, Nike shoes, all fake shoes. Yeah, correct. Then like people like sort of like look down on me or like laugh like oh fake shoes etc.
Fucked
Yeah,
up,
correct. Yeah lah, but I think all this like come on lah, don't be so shallow lah. Yeah, it's like what the heck? It's just a brand, right? So to me it's like yeah lah. But back then I didn't really have like the guts or anything to say. So it's like when I think back like okay, actually like all these very stupid, you know. These are like people that I don't want to hang out with, you know, in the future. In the future I should be more picky with my friends in terms of like character wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. It's not like how much your net worth or etc. You know, if you can't be a good person, then nothing you stand for really matters anymore. Yeah, so I realized okay lah. Yeah, when I look back actually all these lessons, wow, actually these are good lessons.
I think because it shows you who your real friends are, you know, who still love you even though you cannot spend that kind of money or they cannot dress a certain way or cannot experience like certain things in it. Because I remember I was like in my broke phase, right? I really had to say no to a lot of friends, to a lot of meetups, even birthdays. And like when people like I remember then I had like maybe like $40 in my bank and it was like and I don't know when the next money is coming in, and then it was my one of my secondary school friends' birthday. And then I was just like, okay, what if I go for this birthday? How does that mean for the remaining week for me? And then I went for the birthday.
That must be tough.
It was tough, and then like I remember because I didn't really tell them yet how I was struggling because I didn't want them to help me. Then after that, my friend suggested, oh, after the meal, shall I go buy a birthday present for someone? If I buy the birthday present, like that,
and you can't say no. You can't say no because it's very hard.
Yes.
It's like so paiseh. Like,
I learned to say no, like because I really cannot, like, you know, if I like because people want to eat out, you know, friends
correct.
who are not broke, they can go out, it's not wrong. So I had to learn to like just miss out on some stuff and be self-assured as well, you know. So I guess I think money is very good in like differentiating, helping you build confidence in yourself,
correct,
and
yeah.
also like, you know, seeing who are the people that you want to hang out with. I guess.
JJ has this term as well. It's called privilege to be poor. So so at first I was like, actually it makes a lot of sense because I think for me I also grew up in a poor family. Okay, not exactly very very poor, but my own biological family is quite poor because my mom has committed a lot of mistakes lah. It's similar to kind of like your family as well.
What are those like?
So I can share some. So one example is she's a con artist. Yeah, so she con a lot of people money. That's out there. Oops, that's out there. Okay, go and okay, but anyway, so she con quite a lot of people money, and so since young I stay with my auntie and uncle. So they are my dad's sister, and so I was the youngest child, and I was also the favorite child. I don't know if you feel that way. Like if you're the youngest, usually in the house.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Your siblings
Okay.
like dote on you or like take care of you.
No, I feel like everyone trusted my elder sister more. So
most.
like everyone always went
Probably a
to her.
different kind of.
I was a bit immature then.
So for me, I thought everything was very good, right? Because I've been doted on. I got everything. I didn't know I have any financial issues until I grew older. I think like poly to army that period. That was when I started to realize, actually my family quite fucked up.
Why?
I mean, got a lot of issues
Oh,
that I
right.
didn't know. That I didn't
Yeah,
know.
before that he was totally unaware.
I was unaware because
Oh,
everyone
okay.
wanted to like protect me. So actually, one
Then tell
thing
me the truth.
I believe that truth one day will be out. So and even if it's not out, there's always that risk. If the person finds out, then then what are you going to do about it? Yeah. So to me, is actually it's a good thing lah to let even children to know about stuff lah. Yeah. Shouldn't really try to protect them. Okay, but anyway, so so without all these past experiences, right? One thing, okay, we always think about like as in life, right? We always think our struggles are very bad, and then we always be like fuck lah, my life is so shit. If only I was rich.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
If only I was rich. So the grass is always like greener
On the other side.
where you on the other side. But then there's also another term that I came across, which is the grass is actually greenest where you
Where you water
water it. Yeah. So actually where you are right now is actually there's blessings. So one of the things that I totally agree with JJ is that we are privileged to be poor. Okay, so we're out there. Yeah, we're privileged to be poor in the sense that my mindset really helped me to become more confident in myself and even to run my own company, which is Lumie Lessons. So to me, all these I find very, very helpful and very useful. Yeah, and I believe that if I had never been poor, then I would never have started my own company as well.
Very good point. Actually, I do agree with the privilege to be poor thing now that I hear it. Yeah, because
sense, right?
yeah, it actually makes a lot of sense because I think before that, if I never felt the financial pain
Correct.
of poverty,
Yep.
I don't think I would be incentivized to go and learn how to manage money. Because last time it's like parents always just give me money, other people just give me my uncle just give me money, but it was really from learning. From really going through poverty that you learn how to fish
Yes.
yourself instead of just being given a fish.
Correct.
And I think that was the best skill I'm very
Yes.
grateful that I learned because to be honest, there were many times that I wanted to ask my uncle for help when it comes to university fees or like just life. But I think ever since my uncle rejected me with the university, like studying overseas and him giving me money thing, I think I realized that potentially it might not be a bad thing because I
Now
guess
you learn to do things yourself, save up, all these.
I learned the value of money because then I remember I was quite absurd. I actually asked him for almost $500,000 because going overseas is
you need a lot
very
of money.
expensive.
Yep.
And so I knew I didn't have it, so I thought my uncle was the most well-to-do person I know. He might have it, so I asked him, thinking that he will give it to me. But I was very naive and very immature. Then after that, so when he rejected, I think I was a bit hurt, but then I was like, I guess I just have to do it in Singapore, And I think it was a blessing in disguise because I honestly wouldn't have wanted to incur that kind of cost, And also, realizing that I cannot just always ask, for money to come, made me find ways to, find my
yes,
make my own
correct,
money,
correct.
find money, and I mean it's doable. And actually now I perhaps even find out how he even make money because like my uncle is well to do, but I never knew how he did it because then I didn't know investing, this kind of things, all the financial instruments that you can take leverage on.
Right.
But now I realize this kind of thing exists. Of course, the rich can get richer.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
definitely.
And I guess that is
Once you
what
hit a
we
certain
leverage on.
once you hit a certain net worth, you should never go down. Actually, there was this very interesting point. Your first million is almost impossible, but your second million is inevitable.
Yes.
Because the habits and the knowledge that it takes to acquire that first million, it will stay on.
Yes.
Yeah. So then your second million, your third million is all inevitable already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
What
very
about you?
interesting. Yeah,
Privileged to be poor.
Privileged to be poor.
I mean, I'm very happy that you guys agree with it.
I mean, we say for the camera only. Afterwards, it's
Okay, say students say.
you think we're funny.
Yeah, just really enjoying the journey of growth, like be it like
Yes.
financial
Correct,
growth,
correct.
like or personal growth or emotional growth. Like
Very good point. It's important to enjoy because we are always thinking about next step. I think from evolution wise, humans we're always trying to think about next step, plan for the next.
because we always see other people getting there.
Yes,
already.
and we always compare. We always compare.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the real important thing is actually we only have 80 plus years of life here. So if you don't enjoy your life now, then something's really wrong lah. Something's really wrong. Yeah. So it's okay to strive for something better, but I think at least every night it's important to be grateful.
reflect, right.
Yeah, and remind ourselves that it is where at least I've gotten this far lah. Quite good already lah. Not 不错了啦 for my circumstance.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if you think of it, like our starting point is actually very way behind.
It
the
is lah.
average,
It is. Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
But then you look at how far we have come, like in terms of like character and stuff, and all this like really translate to whatever you say, like all this you can feel in your bones.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't work, like you can feel the hunger in your body.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You can eat you alive.
Guilty lah. You sometimes feel guilty also.
It's damn strong also. It's like okay, if I don't do this, I'll go back this state.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to go back to
Correct.
this. Yeah, and then I will like just keep working.
That's
hard.
very good.
Yeah,
Yep, yep,
Yeah, you were
correct,
saying
correct.
something just now.
Was I saying something?
Were you saying something?
I think I
Maybe you weren't saying something?
I remember. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I think
I think you were saying about how slowing down is good. Like I think
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
saying,
yeah,
like,
slowing down.
Like while you're striving and walking and going to where you want to go, also like take time to enjoy the like smell the roses. Is it?
Oh, got a lot of wisdom
Correct,
quotes
yes.
after
Yeah,
this.
wisdom quotes.
Wow, not bad. Quite wise people here.
Yeah. Is it Pinterest supplying me all the quotes?
Smell the roses. That's the quote.
Smell, I don't know, like, smell
Wow.
the flowers, smell the roses, and yeah, just enjoy the
Correct,
things
correct.
around you as you progress.
Beauty is all around you.
Yeah, be in the
so it's-
moment,
Yeah,
correct.
I mean, if you don't take hold of the present, this present of the present won't come again,
That's why it's called the present now.
Oh wow, wow, wow. Okay,
I think enough. I think
Yeah,
the,
too much, too much.
yeah, I think
Okay,
I think the
next
quote's
topic.
enough. Okay, let's move on to the last topic for today, which I think is juicy, yes, but it's also I think very important for. I think for what I see is my friends, my age, 23, 20 years old, even in army as well, especially in this COVID period. So I think the topic is mental health. And I think that personally, I have gone through some experiences with mental health as well. I'll share mine first, and then I'll share my tips as well on how to help with that. Okay, I think first and foremost, let me share my case of mental health issues. And I think I have this issue with anxiety as well. Worry, constant worry, anxiety. I think it's very common. Not that I'm an outlier, it's a very common thing. But mine stems from business. So actually, if you are an entrepreneur, FA, financial advisor, property agent, anything that you're doing that's out of the norm of the 9 to 5 corporate work, right? You will for sure 100% guarantee you will face this sense of anxiety. Because all of a sudden you're thrown into a place of unknown, right? Like for me, I'm leading Lumie lessons, and a lot of times people see me as someone that knows how to do things. But honestly, I tell you, I'm like a blind leading the blind. I actually do not know what is going to work, what is not going to work. No matter how much market research I do, I still do not know if the way I do it is the right way or not. And so this can have a lot of anxiety. So there were a lot of times where I have trouble falling asleep. So one of the things I do is, instead of falling asleep at a certain time, I just make myself as tired as I can, and then I sleep when I'm tired, like super tired. So sometimes can be 4 a.m., 4:30, 5 a.m. Yeah, and then my body clock is just thrown off the entire rhythm.
What time do you wake up?
Okay, I wake up quite late. Okay. One thing about people with depression that I read about, right? Okay, not that I have depression, but more of something that I read about is one of the signs and symptoms actually you sleep for too long and you find it hard to sleep. But once you sleep, you can sleep for a super long period of time.
Oh yes.
Because you don't have the will to wake up. When you wake up, you
feel like sleeping again.
you just measure your life in a sense that, hey, actually, reality is not as good as my dream, so I better go back to dream. Yeah. So, if you spot these signs, I think important to start taking some actions towards your own mental health. So my tips, right? Actually, personally, what I do is I journal. So I'll write my stuff down, and I'll ask myself whether is it good to have all these thoughts. And I also follow some philosophical channels. One of them is Jay Shetty. He's an Indian monk, Buddhist monk actually, and he was a monk for 3 years, and then he has learned some things about mindfulness and all this kind of stuff. So I do practice them as well. So these are my tips. I'll put maybe a link to his channel so you guys can go and watch. Yeah, but you guys, maybe Shuk Yee first.
Okay.
Yeah, about mental health, I think this is something that if you're open to share, we will also want to hear some of your experiences
Yeah, I feel like I started struggling with mental health ever since my first episode, which was the depression in 2016. And I think
2016.
ever since then, like
Was that the period where you start spending a lot of money?
Yes, that was
Okay.
the lowest period of my life, remember, because everything else was crumbling. Yeah, so the first episodes were like depression and eating disorder. That was the more obvious one, anxiety this time. Then after that, I think it just, after I cured the depression and cured the eating disorder, it then became very general things like your normal anxiety.
Sorry, how do you cure your depression? Or what steps do you take? I think that would be important for some.
Actually, to be honest, right, it was, if you ask me now, it was actually a very long journey where it was very unintentional, but all I knew was I wanted to not feel so shitty anymore. So I remember feeling something was off with me because I just started like not feeling any drive for life, which is very unlike me, and I have no feeling. And if you ask me if there's anything I like, there's nothing. So I remember like I was quite scared because I was like, when I realized I was like depressed, yeah, it was quite scary. So what I did was, after a long period, I was like quite sick of feeling like that, because I think depression almost drove me to suicide before. and it was after that suicide attempt, which I thankfully didn't try lah. That really woke me up, because I think I wanted to jump off like my apartment that I was staying alone then, but I think because I was scared of heights, so I think like I stopped myself. And I think after I stopped myself, I think I was in a state of like, what do you just want to do, and like why? And I think after I had a conversation with myself, I realized that actually I don't want to die, even though life is very hard, like I don't want to die, but I just need to know how I can live, you know. And so I think ever since then, that was the first spark that I want to get better, I don't want to die. That was the first realization. Then I started like just doing things, because I was not well versed with mental health, to be honest. Like, so I just Google, I was like, if you're depressed, what should you do? And like, or like I'll go on Pinterest to like find for quotes, because maybe that will give me a change of perspective. And then maybe I watch a lot of YouTube, like, you know, most like Western kind of like, you know, people talking about mental health. And I think I got a lot of comfort from realizing that it was actually a real thing that we face as well. Then I think from then, a lot from the YouTube, they'll give advice like, oh, go talk to your friends and stuff. So so I did try, because I wanted to. So even though I don't feel like telling them my problems, I did lah. And I think slowly I did realize that there are friends who are willing to listen and journey that long journey with you. So I guess opening up was the big step, and like just stopping the pattern. Like, you know, depression has a cycle, like, you know, you just keep sleeping and you just keep your thought cycle just keep going the same way, negative, and you really just need to be cautious. You need to stop it where you are aware that you need to stop it, and then you just need to do anything else that's different. So if you know that your habit, your cycle is sleeping, then you just need to know, and staying home and like isolating to break the pattern is to just get out of the house, even though you don't feel like it, because you need to break the pattern so that you can experience different and then think different. So that, I think that was the first like aha moment. And then I think after that, with the eating disorder, you know, really like practicing a lot of self-love and appreciation, you know, not caring what other people think about how you look lah, like, and really genuinely believing that you are more than just how you look. And just shutting out the noise. Just shutting out the noise. So I think that really practicing that, and then successfully being able to apply that helped me get past my eating disorder. And then right now it's just I'm seeing a therapist, you know, because I know that trauma builds up, you know. It's not just from a few episodes that I know, it probably built up from my childhood. So I have been actively working on that. And I think one tip that I would say has been good for protecting my mental health is learning to set boundaries, learning to say no to what I know doesn't feel good for myself, so that I can say yes to the self-care, yes to what recharges me again. So setting boundaries is a tip, I guess. What about you?
Wow, that was really good. I mean, it was really difficult to break that cycle. Because I know people who are in depression, and like they just can't get out of it. So it's like, wow, I'm just so glad that you got out of it. And like hearing that you almost like jump off, like it was also very scary.
It was.
Correct. I mean, definitely I didn't have this style of like I'll say the amount, my magnitude of my problems may not be as such. So mine was more of like the constant lack of confidence, I would say, and also self-esteem. Because growing up in my family, right, so before that I'll say that actually my brother was sort of my father, you know. And the reason why he was that is because he was this very capable person, very smart, so good at sports, a lot of friends, everything, like it's all in one, right? So it's like I always view myself as the lesser version of him. Correct. And then I would say he did shelter a lot of pain, you know, from the family, a lot of suffering, and that's why I grew up to be like more cheerful, more like bubbly, right? While he turned out to be more like dark, you know, and that's the past, right? Now he's different. So but thing is, I constantly feel like, oh, like I didn't have an identity, you know, because like when we go to a relative house, or like when we like basically like my family, like everyone's attention will be on him. Sometimes they won't even know that I'm there, you know. So the thing is like this gives me a lot of like lack of self-esteem. So that's why like back in the days, like poly, secondary school, friend, etc. Like I didn't really have a backbone, so I'm more like a people pleaser. You know? Correct. It's like I really agree with what you say. Like you have to know that like your own value or your self-worth, you cannot be tied to your looks. you know, cannot be tied to your maybe your net worth, your like all these very very shallow things like how you dress, number of friends, etc. You know, yeah. But then always the one that is seeking external validation from other people, you know. So I think back then during poly, my circle of friends wasn't that healthy. I would say some of them quite toxic. Yeah, the really shallow things like all the like care about followers, then after that like care about all the rich thing, brand, what's like I mean to me like what's the point? Like really it's just ridiculous. But I didn't yeah, when I look back all this sort of thing, I realized well actually like these are the people that I hang out with, and the reason why I hang out is because I'm feeling like lonely or I cannot be alone. I'm not good enough to be alone. Yeah, and why I'm not good enough to be alone is because I think that I have no self-worth, you know. So the thing is I'm always like this like this party go or this like crowd people, you know, like yeah. So when I think back it's like oh actually maybe because I just crave for attention, you know. Back then I was like I was this walking in the shadow, right? I was this shadow of my older brother, and then this sort of like second neglected child, right? Yeah. So the thing is like when I look back all this like hey, it was so bad about being alone. Right, sometimes actually it's better than being toxic people, to be honest. Yeah, like now when I think, hey, actually I'm like, no, I mean I don't mind like hanging out with like good people, but things like toxic people like it's really a no. Yeah, so like all these things is like quite sharp, like quite you know like prominent to me. Then I will just cut out. Yeah, so I guess like looking back how I get all this confidence is actually accomplishing more in my life. So I would say like one big turn of event is actually back then was during NS. We actually started this like sort of like mini startup, you know, like digital startup, correct? Yeah. so back then I was like very poor. Then the most value for money is teaching tuition, correct? Because you go any part time, the highest cafe I know is $12.
Yeah.
You know, like Handbag, Cafe Fernet, all this sort of thing. Yeah, that's very good already. But I think that's the highest you can go per hour. So if you want to go higher per hour, you need to go tuition, right? So I started tuition. Back then I was also smart. So the thing is, what I do is I really like low ball. So it's like if the thing is if I can't win their grades, you know, all the RI, Hwa Chong, if I can't win that, I just win them in price. No one can be as cheap as me. Yeah,
spoil market basically.
So I just go
15 per hour.
Yeah, $15 per hour. You know, I just go damn low.
Okay, by the way, the market rate is around like 30 per hour at least lah. At least.
Cut,
yeah, exactly.
Correct,
15.
Correct. Yeah, so I just structured myself. But then I mean that actually worked because I got to teach a China mom, and then in the end I managed to teach the kid to A star, and then she introduced me to like whole kampong of China.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's like then I have like recurring. Yeah, okay, but that was lucky, but that was really hard work because I remember like the mom, like even though they're very rich, so the condo that they stay is like yeah, it's just very expensive. That one I know. So that is a property agent. Then the thing is she still wanted to reduce my rate. Even
Yeah,
it's like
so
damn low.
low eh.
Yeah, correct. That's why. So it's like it's not like they cannot.
That's why they are rich lah.
Yeah, correct. So
cannot.
so I guess this like maybe one of the reason why they're rich is that their way of thinking is just like that. It's just like
Cheaper, better.
whoever I can exploit, I just exploit. You know, it's
Get the best value.
it's the every man for himself type of thing lah. But then all this no right, their own mindset, right? Yeah, so it's like yeah, then I even like extend to few hours. You know, the lesson can be 1.5 hours, extend to like 2 hours, 3 hours or so. Yeah, so it's really hard for like few years. Then when I enter NS, then after that yeah, I just continue teaching. Then I realized oh actually I can do great things. You know, like founded this tuition startup, and then like at the start even though we were losing few thousand, we did gain back the money. You know, yeah. So in the end it broke even, and then I realized that, oh actually I am quite capable. You know, I am still like there's value. You know that I put on the table. You know, so that's when I wasn't that passionate. I sort of like died down, lose interest because I teach for 4 years already. Then after that I started to like did more internship and stuff. Then a while later I like started my own startup. So now it's like I call it a science tech startup, right? Yeah, and then with like around 10 people under me. And then the thing is like all these like small little achievements, I would say, it sort of built my confidence to say that oh I am capable. You know, so that is how I draw my like self-worth. You know, because the thing is I feel that if you just put your self-worth to like looks, it's quite shallow. You know, or like the things you wear, all this kind of thing. But I think it's I feel that self-worth actually it's hard to get it, like confidence, self-esteem. It's really hard to get it, to be honest. And then even tying that to what I'm capable of is also not very accurate. Like it's also very one-dimensional. You know, it's supposed to be like just like who you are as a person. Simple as that. Your character, right? Yeah. But this, in retrospect, very hard, like really very hard to think about lah. Like that is now it's because that I have like really looked through and all this type of thing and just like, I mean you cannot just say the person not earning money or not having a like very high paying job, then the person is not worth, right?
Yeah,
like,
no.
You can't say all this. So I realized that actually you go boils down to every aspect. It's just okay, who the person is, their character, and just this simple thing, right? Everything you just strip, that doesn't matter. So I think the world really flood like our senses, you know, or our perception, you know, of things like make money, like pretty girls or like handsome guys, all this kind of thing, all this kind of thing, like look very cool, etc. But what truly matters, you know, are they happy that, you know, like in their life, right? So what's the measure that you're using?
Actually, what is your measure for success then?
Success. I have a quite a set philosophy when it comes to life lah. But then I think it's gonna get a bit dark. I don't know if I can share.
Okay, just
I think I should just share. Okay, actually we are
Overrun.
we're overrun already. Okay, but never mind. I'll just quickly share. So okay, so I have this quite a set philosophy on life, and that is that I'm a nihilist. So yeah, so a nihilist is a school of philosophy that believes that there's no inherent meaning to life. Okay, all this just take with a pinch of salt. I'm not trying to bash any religion or whatever. Personal, that's a personal opinion. Okay, personal opinion. Okay, in case one day we become thousands of subscribers, then this video gets out. Right? So I need a disclaimer first. Okay, so I'm a Singapore. Wake Up Singapore, come. Sponsor us, please. Okay, so anyway, I'm a nihilist, and nihilist believes that there is no inherent meaning. That means there's no given meaning to life. Humans are just like any other animals. They came out by chance, and but I'm an optimistic nihilist, which believes that it's also another school of philosophy, which also believes that yes, there's no meaning in life, but then that gives you the ability to create your own meaning. So with that said, right, I think that my life is only 85 years on Earth. I mean, if I'm lucky, then 90 something years. What is going to make me get the most of life in these 90 plus years is actually this term called autonomy. Right? Autonomy is when you have so much money or financial independence that your entire life you are kind of sort of like covered because of investments, your interest per month, you know. So in your daily life, you can actually live life to the fullest. So it's a very simple set of philosophy, but I'm very set at it. And that is why I believe that entrepreneurship is one of the paths. In fact, to me, it's the only path that is going to get me to that state. Yeah, that's what drives me.
Okay, so that's your like definition of success.
Yes, that's my definition. Measure. My metric of success is when you can live your life to the fullest. Use up, but that depends on the person as well. So what it means to live life to the fullest. Some people will say I want to buy a big house, but actually, why you want to buy a big house? Right? Actually, then some people will not be able to answer any further because they haven't thought of why they want a big house. So actually, for me, right, why do I want to have a business and entrepreneurship and all that? Because I think that entrepreneurship is the best way to reflect your philosophy on life into the world. Because you create everything. You create a culture, you create the mentorship, you create the business itself, you create the service that it provides, you treat the way the customers that you want to treat, and you build the service that you want. So actually that reflects totally your philosophy in life, you see. And to me, it's education right now. Yeah, so if I can change something about education, right now we are moving towards trying to make education more accessible to lower income families. Just something to stay tuned is that we want to connect tutors in JC and Polys who want to do it for CCA points to lower income families where they can have tuition for free. Yeah, so if we can achieve something like this, to me, it's success.
Okay. I guess my measure of success has been refined over the years. Like at one point of time, it was a lot about money, a lot about what other people think is successful for me. But I think over the years, I realized I just want to be genuinely happy and healthy, and have enough money so that I can experience my life to the fullest. Yeah, and it's actually just as simple. Because to me, I don't really see how much money I need. Because I don't want my life to be about running
a number
to chase after a number.
Correct.
But it's to be to have enough so that I can get the experience and live my life to the fullest. To whatever that definition it is for myself at that point of time. Sometimes I might want like a more luxurious experience. Sometimes I just want a hawker center experience, and that is actually really shiok already.
As long as you're happy.
As long as I'm happy and I'm healthy enough to experience it, and enjoy the moment.
I think health is something important also. Definitely.
Yes. Oh yes, my kill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sponsor.
It's a
sponsor.
Okay, so shout out to
Sustania.
for sponsoring this video. Okay, no lah. Not yet lah. We only got 17 subscribers. Okay. But one day, okay. So maybe Shuk Yee can share a bit about her vegetable journey.
Health, what do you mean by health?
Oh, okay. So I see health very differently now because recently I've been having like this this like feeling unwell for a prolonged period of time, like say 1 month plus. And I think it helped me look at health and appreciate my health differently. So recently because of my poor health, I have transitioned to a whole food plant-based diet. That's why when Keith asked me what I want, I said I wanted raw vegetables like kale because apparently like health is, I think like eating healthy, like nutrition is like something that everybody can do, like and it's a step that everybody can do to
that's true.
better health.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I'm on her side.
McDonald's,
Coke, yeah.
No, actually,
Sleeping at 4
okay.
a.m.
On the camera is different Camera is I'm same as you guys.
Yeah, but so basically, I've been trying to eat a more anti-inflammatory diet that's filled with more greens, raw greens, because that's where the nutrients. It survives. I think when you cook it, the nutrients kind of like dies a little bit. Yeah. So eating less meat because they're more inflammatory, cutting dairy as well, and having more.
Awesome.
vegetables.
Hope you
This is
enjoy.
for you.
Hey, yes, I bought this for her. So
But I think after hearing the conversation, I think he needs it more. He needs it more.
okay lah, can I keep it?
Keep it.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to
Okay.
JJ when it comes to your vision
So
of success.
So the thing is like actually this right is I would say it's like the $1 million question, or the question of century, right? Like everyone will always ask this question. Maybe you go back in time, like your matrix for success, or you just want to be like doctor, lawyer, or like want to get your like target occupation, or want to get like reach 100,000 by this when, right, etc. But then I think if you dive one step further, you ask why do you want all this, right? Then they will say, because then I can travel the world, right? So why do you want to travel the world? And because I can experience life differently, get a new perspective, etc. Right? So I think it really goes back to the fundamentals, like what do you want, what do you think you want, right? And all this, what I'm trying to say, it really changes according to time. So it's like in the future, like maybe 1 year later or like 5 years later, when I look back, actually, my matrix for success changes.
Yeah, it's true.
And as I walk through life, right? So as of now, my current standpoint, which may change in the future, because if you look back, it always change, right? So the thing is, the current standpoint is really to do the things you like that benefits the world, and also something that the world needs. So that's why you can get money. And why you get money is because you need to eat. Yeah, it's just to sustain yourself.
Yeah.
So I was saying like, matrix for success is like, if I can do something I love that the world needs, therefore I can earn money and feed myself, I'm happy. And hopefully if the added benefit is okay, I can build this culture thing, so there's this thing about like Tony Hsieh from Zappos. He built this like really, really fun company culture. That was my target at the start. But I realized after like few months of like building like my company and stuff, it's really, really difficult. So I need to get rich, to be honest, to be able to do that, because I need to be able to support people. That's a stable job lah. Like no one's gonna
stay for culture.
Stay for the culture lah. I think to feed them. So I realized okay, actually one step at a time. Maybe get rich first, then after that I can work on that.
True.
So that's my current
Agreed.
standpoint.
Okay, I think yes, we have come to the end of the podcast for today. I want to thank Shuk Yee for coming again. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. It was actually quite fun talking to you.
Yeah, it was very fun. Yeah, it was
Very
fun.
natural actually.
So fun. Yeah. This is one of the most fun episodes.
Yeah, but we say that every episode.
I didn't say that. No, don't listen to him. I said only for her and Daryl.
Yeah, true lah.
Two only.
Wait. Actually, no. Before we end off, why don't we just say one short and sweet one, like one thing you'll tell your younger self.
Younger self. Okay, I need to think on this one. Okay. Actually, I have already.
Yeah, just short, sweet.
Yeah. Okay, so to me is I'm someone that always think about the future, and I can live in it for too long. So I will tell my younger self to enjoy the present.
I guess I'll tell my younger self to learn to say no and stop living for the approval of others.
That's what okay. I feel that my younger self is like very certain with certain things, like very, very fixed framework in life. Like this matrix for like
So be more woke.
Yeah, so I was saying like, what I should tell my younger self is, you don't know what you don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, correct. So it's like, you know, this Johari window whereby we have this first window is your public self.
Yeah.
So it's what I know about myself, what people know about me. Maybe extrovert. Okay, everyone knows that I'm extrovert. Okay, all this very very simple thing, very easy to tell, very obvious. I also know. Second one is my hidden self. What I know about myself, but people don't know about me. It's like my many dark secret or my insecurities, etc.
Yeah.
That I don't share. Then the third one is blind spot. What the people know about me, but I don't know about myself.
You learn the most from
Yes.
knowing your blind spots.
Correct. Then the last one, which is the most dangerous one,
Which
which
one?
is the unknown box. So it's like what people don't know about me and what I don't know about myself.
Oh yeah.
So it's like we are not there yet to discover.
Okay, that's true. I never saw
correct.
it.
That's why. So I think like when I reflect, you know, like I don't have this very fixed habit of like reflecting every day, but I think average reflection is like once in 3 days or 2 days, right? Sometimes I have very very scattered thoughts or very very messy thoughts, then I'll try to journal. So like when I look back at these some of the thoughts, and then I realize, well, actually the way I think it changes so much. Like your goal, you know, the goal that you set, it's like, oh, I want to build this thing, I want to make this thing happen, etc.
Yeah.
But then as you walk, then your goal changes as well. So I realized like actually life is like not that fixed, nothing is for certain. And then you have to really like know that, okay, you may not know all the information in the world, so you may not be so certain. Yeah, so I will tell myself that, okay, you may not know what you don't know yet, so don't be so certain on some things.
Very good.
And I guess like to end it off is also like you don't need to have everything figured out, you know.
At a young age.
Yeah, at a young age.
I
And
really agree with that.
yeah, you don't need to have everything figured out to take the next step, because I think when we're younger, we see all the old people successful, then we are just like, we don't know
And the
what's
advice they
next.
give also.
Yeah, we also don't know how to like bridge the
Correct,
gap
yeah,
to what's the
yeah.
next step, what's the best step, right step for
Yeah,
me.
yes, correct.
I guess like you don't need to know it might be a wrong step, might be a right step, but yeah, it will be part of the journey and it's okay. Just take the
Correct.
step.
Yeah, that's right. The next level, you know, like level 2, level 3, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, instead of like looking at level 10 and
Yeah.
like thinking, oh, what's good, and then try to
And then
The funny thing is,
Yeah,
the funny thing is they give you advice, but the thing is that at level 10, they give advice to a level 0.
Yeah, right,
So I'm like there's a
Yeah,
gap
so you start to
lah.
compare, then
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
Yeah, so just take the first step.
First step.
Always in anything.
and enjoy the present.
Yeah. Wow, wow.
Nice. Oh my god.
Wow, I love it, I love it.
I love this.
Okay, got it.